Number 7, the protection of human rights is the way to protect the public's health. Very often, people who have discriminatory attitudes believe that somehow the populations who are discriminated against exist in pockets outside of society, but that's simply not true. Especially when you have a highly stigmatized population, very often their behaviors are hidden. They have to hide their behaviors in order to manage their lives and make their lives livable. And that makes them invisible to the larger population deliberately as a survival strategy. So it means that it's not possible to separate that group from the wider society. We are all one interconnected network. And then especially when you add to it sort of the way in which we're afraid to talk about sex and we see sex as shameful, it means that people tend to have sex in secret. And once you have people having sex in secret, again, you create a condition where everybody's basically interconnected through different sexual networks. So it's not, when you're talking about a sexually transmitted infection like HIV, it's not possible to say, well, it's only true for them and it doesn't affect us, because that's simply not the way that communities work in reality, and it's not the way that sexuality and sexual behavior works in reality. So the idea then that the human rights abuses that societies believe are permissible against certain groups is a way of protecting them from being in contact with those groups simply doesn't hold up, because in reality sexual networks are much more complicated and much more diverse.
For further information on human rights, HIV/AIDS, and to endorse now more than ever the joint statement, visit www.hivhumanrightsnow.org.